Storytelling, it's one of the oldest skills known to humans, older than writing, older than language itself. From the time we gathered around campfires to now gathering around screens, one thing has never changed. People love a good story, whether it's in movies, reels, podcasts, or YouTube videos. Storytelling is the glue that holds attention, creates emotion, and builds connection. But what separates an average story from one that makes people stop scrolling, lean in, and stay till the end? That's what we're diving into today. The art of storytelling isn't just about telling what happened. It's about how you tell it. It's about crafting an experience, making people feel like they're inside the world you're painting. And the first rule of that: hook them early. Imagine your viewer's attention as a candle in the wind. If you don't shield that flame in the first few seconds, it'll blow out. That's where your hook comes in. You don't start with context or background or slow build-ups. You start with tension, conflict, curiosity, a question that makes them lean in, something unexpected, something bold. For example, instead of saying once upon a time, there was a guy who wanted to start a business, you say he had $73 in his account, no plan, and a deadline of 30 days or he'd be homeless and done. That pulls people in. You've skipped the fluff. You've dropped them in the middle of something. That's your job as a storyteller. Don't build a story. Drop your listener inside one. Once you've got the hook, the next job is to build momentum. Because even the best hook fades if the story starts dragging. Momentum comes from tension. What does the character stand to lose? What's at risk? Good stories never just go straight from start to win. They throw problems, obstacles, many failures. That's what people relate to. That's what keeps them listening. You can't have people care about the I without taking them through the low. And here's the trick. Every story is about change. That's what your viewer is really watching for, the transformation. Where did the character start? And where did they end up? Whether it's a story about a guy escaping a small town to become a star, or a girl going from fear to confidence, or even just how you learn it, a life lesson from your worst mistake. What matters is how you've changed. Without change, there's no story, only information. Another powerful storytelling principle is relatability. People don't just watch stories to be entertained. They want to see themselves in it. Even if they've never lived what you're describing, they want to feel like they could have. That's why the little details matter. Don't just say, he was sad. Say, he stared at the phone screen for 2 hours, hoping she'd text, knowing she wouldn't. That one sentence paints a feeling most people know even if they've never been through a breakup. It's not about being dramatic. It's about being real. Now, let's talk about rhythm. Your story needs a flow. Think of it like music. There should be rises and falls, moments of intensity followed by quiet reflection. Don't keep the energy at one note. Switch it up. Make people laugh. Then punch them with something emotional. Drop in silence. Then hit them with a twist. Just like a good beat keeps people dancing, a good rhythm in your story keeps people engaged. And while we're on the topic of engagement, don't underestimate your voice. I don't mean your literal voice, well, tone matters too, but your voice as a creator. Your style, your way of speaking, that's what people remember. You might tell the same story as someone else, but your perspective, your emotions, your language, that's what makes it yours. That's what creates connection. and connection creates loyalty. Now, here's something most people miss. Storytelling isn't just for long-form content. It works everywhere, on reels, on Instagram captions, in tweets, in sales pitches, even in conversations. Why? Because the human brain is wired for stories, not facts, not data, not lists, just stories. So if you're creating content and you want people to listen, to care, and to act, you need to tell stories. Think about it. Even businesses that sell products use stories. Ever seen those Apple ads? They don't sell the phone. They sell the feeling of creativity, of being part of a movement. They tell you a story about who you could be with their product. That's no accident. That's strategy. So if you want to master storytelling, practice telling real moments. Tell your own stories first, the ones that shaped you, the ones that hurt, healed, or taught you something. Tell the story of how you learned something the hard way, or how you almost gave up but didn't, or how you failed and it still made you better. Don't just tell the highlight reel, tell the behind the scenes. That's what builds trust with your audience. Also, learn from others, watch movies, listen to podcasts, read books, study stand-up comedy. See how the best storytellers work their craft. Look at how they start, how they build tension, how they land the punchline. You'll start noticing patterns. And when you do, you'll start seeing your own stories in a different light too. One of the most underrated techniques in storytelling is looping. That means you begin a story or idea early, then circle back to it at the end. It creates a sense of closure and satisfaction in the listener's brain. Like when you start a video saying, "This is the story of how I almost ruined my life in 10 minutes. And then, at the end you say, it took me 10 minutes to ruin everything and 2 years to fix it, but I did. And now I'm here." That kind of loop hits deep. Try it. Another tip, don't try to be perfect. Storytelling isn't about flawless words. It's about emotion. You can stutter, pause, even lose your words, but if your emotion is real, the audience stays with you. Think about your favorite creators or speakers. They don't sound robotic. They sound honest. That's your goal. Be raw, be real, be human. And lastly and strong, the end of your story should feel like a punch or a whisper, but never a fade. Don't just stop. Close the loop. Deliver the lesson. Make them feel something. Leave them thinking, reflecting, or wanting more. To wrap this up, storytelling is not a trick. It's not a hack. It's a bridge between you and your viewer, between what you've lived and what they're feeling. If you learn how to tell stories with heart, tension, rhythm, and honesty, you don't just get views. You build a community, you build impact. And in this noisy world, that's the most valuable thing you can do. So keep telling stories, your stories, because someone out there needs to hear them.